The rain had started again. Thin needles of water sliced through the air as Maya sat in her car outside the convenience store, watching the world through her windshield like it was a screen she could never touch. Wipers groaned against the glass, swiping away nothing she hadn't already seen 100 times. Raindrops blurred the streetlights into halos. The smell of damp fabric and old coffee filled the cabin. Another Tuesday, another breath without Leah. She opened her phone. Came photo. Leah grinning, arms thrown around her like a scarf. The ocean behind them pretending to be infinite. Maya had taken that photo a week before the accident. She still hadn't brought herself to delete the text messages, even though she knew they'd never change. But tonight there was something new. A notification. One unread message from Leah. Her throat tightened. She stared. It was impossible. The number was the same. Her sister's contact photo. Still there, eyes bright, wild and young. Her fingers trembled as she tapped it open. Don't come to the bridge. The words struck like ice. Maya read them again. And again. Her mind stuttered. Some kind of joke. A scam. She backed out of the message and called the number, heart hammering. Straight to voicemail. The voice that answered was a ghost. Hey, this is Leah. Leave a message or send a meme. Peace. She hung up. The bridge. The old stone one outside town. The one Leah had died on. Maya didn't drive there. She didn't plan anything. She just moved, like her body had remembered something her mind hadn't yet. Tires splashed through puddles. Trees blurred past, skeletal in the mist. She parked at the overlook, left the car running. The bridge loomed ahead. Slim, cracked, ancient in a way most things in this town refused to be. The road curved just before it, banking into a blind spot. The same curve that had taken Leah's car when the rain turned the pavement to glass. No one else was there. Just fog and the hiss of rain. Maya walked to the edge of the bridge, her boots echoing against stone. The river below whispered secrets. She leaned over the rail. Nothing. No sign of anything unusual. Then her phone buzzed again. Leah, you shouldn't be here. This time she dropped the phone. It hit the stone and clattered to a stop, screen intact, sanity not. She turned, heart galloping. Who's doing this? She shouted into the fog. Silence answered. Then something moved. A flicker. Just a shimmer in the air at the end of the bridge, like heat above asphalt. Maya stepped closer. Her breath came in clouds. The shimmer pulsed. She squinted. It looked like glass, maybe water, hanging in midair. And inside it was her. No, not a reflection. It was her, standing across from herself. Same coat. Same eyes wide with confusion. But the other Maya looked older. Tired. Her mouth moved. No sound. Maya reached out. The mirror sky rippled, and as her fingers brushed it, the world went white. She blinked. The rain was gone. The fog had lifted. She stood not on the bridge, but outside her mother's cottage, surrounded by sun-warmed trees and the scent of summer grass. Birds chirped, the sky a riot of blue. She staggered back. This couldn't be real. The door to the cottage opened. Voice called. Maya. You coming or what? We're gonna miss the movie. Leah. Maya's knees buckled. Leah stood on the porch, holding 2 sodas, wearing the green hoodie she used to live in. Her hair was pulled into a lopsided bun, strands falling across her cheeks. Are you okay? Leah asked, walking over. Maya couldn't speak. She just stared. Dude, Leah said, handing her a soda. You look like you saw a ghost. Maya took the drink. It was cold. Real. Everything was real. What day is it? She asked, voice hoarse. Leah raised an eyebrow. Tuesday. July 16th. The day before. The day before the crash. Time travel didn't exist. Maya didn't believe in ghosts or fate or anything anymore. But here was her sister. Alive. Laughing. Talking. Breathing. And Maya knew exactly how much time she had. They drove into town. Leah hummed along to the radio. Maya watched every motion like it might vanish. Her hands tapping the wheel, the smile lines around her mouth. She wasn't just alive. She was whole. At the theater, Maya didn't watch the movie. She kept looking at the exit signs, the shadows, the glowing red time on her phone. Time that shouldn't have existed. She had 18 hours. 18 until the moment everything shattered. Afterward at the cottage, she tried to explain. "I don't think I'm supposed to be here," she said. Leah snorted. "You say that every time we come to Mom's." "No, I mean this isn't my time. Think I came back from the future." Leah blinked. "That's either a brilliant excuse for missing my birthday last year, or you've been watching too much Doctor Who." "I'm serious." Maya told her everything. The crash, the text, the bridge. Leah listened, but the more Maya spoke, the more distant her sister's expression grew. "You're not okay," Leah finally said soft. "I am. I swear I am. I think I've been given a chance. To stop it. To save you. You think I'm going to die tomorrow?" Maya's silence was the answer. Leah stood, pacing now. "That's insane. You've really lost it. I know how it sounds. But I can't just do nothing." "So what then? You want me to lock myself in a room all day tomorrow? Hide from the sky?" "Yes." "No." Maya flinched. "Why?" "Because I don't believe it. And even if I did, what kind of life is that? Afraid of every step." "It's just one day." Leah looked at her, really looked. "Maybe you did come from the future. But maybe you brought something else back with you, your fear. Your grief. And it's clouding everything." Maya opened her mouth, closed it. That night, they lay in their old room, side by side on the twin beds. The ceiling fan spun lazy circles. Leah fell asleep fast like she always did. Maya didn't sleep at all. She kept checking her phone. The time ticked forward second by second. At 3:03 a.m., a message appeared. "Leah, stop trying to fix what's meant to break." Maya stared at the screen, heart frozen. She didn't reply. Dawn. Leah was gone. Her car gone. No note. Maya ran outside, screaming her name. The mirror shimmered again in the garden shed window. The image showed Leah driving, eyes fixed ahead. Maya didn't think. She got in her own car, sped toward the bridge. Mist rolled in again, the air thick with static. Her ears rang. She reached the turn just as Leah's car appeared from the opposite side. "Leah!" she screamed. Leah saw her, braked, and vanished. The car didn't crash. It simply flickered out like a light going out. Maya skidded to a stop, ran into the fog. There was no car, no skid marks, no Leah. Only the bridge empty again. And a phone lying on the stone. It wasn't hers. It was Leah's. The last message read, "You weren't supposed to remember." The next morning, Maya didn't wake up so much as she emerged from the haze of 1,000 different versions of the same dream. Fog clung to her thoughts, just like it had clung to the bridge, the night she watched her sister disappear into nothing. Only now there was no bridge, no shimmer. Just the sterile ceiling of a hospital room, white as silence. Her first instinct was panic. She bolted upright, eyes darting. Her limbs felt heavy, her thoughts heavier. Tubes ran from her arm. Machines beeped softly nearby. Her jacket was gone, replaced with a gown. There was a bruise the shape of a steering wheel across her chest. A nurse entered before she could move again. "Hey there. Wait. That's good. Where am I?" Maya rasped. "St. Elora's. You've been out for about a day. They found you passed out near the bridge. You're lucky. There was a storm last night. Mudslide closed the road. You must have just missed it." "I need to go," Maya said, already trying to swing her legs over. "Whoa, hold on, easy. My sister Leah. I need to find her." The nurse blinked. "I'm sorry. Leah. She's missing." "Saw her. She was alive." The nurse's expression shifted subtly. "Do you want me to call someone? A family member?" Maya didn't answer. What would she say? That she'd watched her dead sister vanish from a bridge after time traveling into the past? She lay back down. Let the machines count her breaths. Later, when no one was looking, she checked her phone. Leah's number was gone. But the messages were still there. Stop trying to fix what's meant to break. You weren't supposed to remember. The words clawed at her. If this wasn't the first time, what did that mean? How many times had she crossed that threshold? How many versions of herself had tried and failed to save Leah? Outside, thunder rolled in the distance. Maya asked to be discharged. Back at home, her apartment was exactly as she'd left it. Delaire. Unanswered mail. The ocean photo of them still framed by her bed. But now something had shifted. The shimmer hadn't just taken her back in time. It had fractured it. Pieces of Leah were now buried in the folds between seconds. Maya could feel them like echoes in her bones. She had to find the source. She started digging. The internet had always been her refuge. Code, anomalies, deep dive forums of the strange and theoretical. She pored through quantum theory, string paradoxes, even the wild-eyed musings of conspiracy bloggers who believed time loops could be entered through emotion-focused trauma. Over and over, the same idea echoed. Memory anchors time. Emotion binds it. The more she remembered Leah, the more time unraveled. That night, she dreamed of the shimmer again. Only this time it spoke. Not in words, but in sensations, static and sorrow. Images bled together. Leah at 7 chasing fireflies. Leah at 21, crying into Maya's shoulder after their mother died. Leah walking backward into mist. Maya woke with one thought. The cottage. If anything remained of the anomaly, it would be there. The cottage had been left untouched since their mother passed. It stood at the edge of Maple Hollow, quiet as the dead. Maya drove there under a gray sky, parking in the gravel as wind rustled the old wind chimes. Inside the cottage was a time capsule. Blankets still folded the way Mom liked. Leah's initials still carved into the banister. Maya moved through it like a ghost, touching memories. In the attic she found something. A journal. Not hers. Not their mother's. Leah's. The first entry was dated 2 months before the accident. I think I'm slipping. It's not just dreams anymore. It's like, I'm living out of order. Maya's pulse spiked. She flipped forward. Saw myself today. The bridge. I was older. It's like ice. She didn't say anything, just stared. And then she was gone. She turned another page. One more entry, scrawled in haste. I think Maya's going to try. She always tries. But this time she has to let go. She has to, or the loop won't close. There was no more. Maya set the journal down and went outside. Rain began again, thin and cold. She stood in the backyard, searching for a sign, a flicker, a seam. It was the garden shed. The same window she'd seen the shimmer in before. It was active. This time she didn't hesitate. She stepped through. And she was in the past again. Not days before the crash. Not hours. Minutes. She stood on the side of the road, just beyond the curve. Leah's car passed in the distance. Maya sprinted. Screaming. Waving her arms. The car stopped. Leah stepped out. What the hell, Maya? You can't go this way. Maya! I found your journal. You knew. You've always known. Leah's eyes softened. So did you. But you kept forgetting. It was easier. I remember now. All of it. You weren't supposed to. Why? Because remembering means choosing. And once you choose, the loop ends. One way or another. Maya's hands balled into fists. Then let me choose to save you. Leah reached out. Touched her cheek. That's not how it works. The shimmer crackled behind her. It was collapsing. Leah stepped back. Toward it. No. Maya lunged. Too late. Leah smiled, tears in her eyes. Tell me goodbye this time. Then she was gone. The shimmer vanished. The town had shifted, imperceptibly at first, like a subtle pressure change before a storm. After the shimmer vanished and Leah with it, time hadn't quite returned to its old rhythm. Days passed with too much weight in them. The light came in at unfamiliar angles. Shadows fell in places where they never had before. Maya noticed everything. She couldn't help it. She tried to return to normalcy. Coffee at her usual cafe. long walks down streets she used to know. But the town had become a stranger, and she was a ghost passing through it. People still smiled, still nodded, but their eyes lingered on her a second too long, as if trying to place her from a dream. She wasn't sure if she had made it back to the original timeline, or if somehow she'd fractured it again by intervening. There were cracks in reality now, barely perceptible. Dogs barked at empty corners. Clocks ticked too slow. A child on the bus looked at Maya and said, "You don't belong here," before returning to her coloring book. Maya couldn't ignore it anymore. The shimmer might have vanished, but the consequences hadn't. Her phone rang only once that week. Unknown number. No voicemail. When she called it back, it didn't ring. She began cataloging the shifts, time discrepancies, memory inconsistencies, fragments of dreams that bled into her waking life. One night, she awoke with tears on her cheeks and Leah's voice in her ear, whispering something Maya couldn't quite remember. She had to anchor herself, and the only thing solid was the past. So she returned to the cottage. This time, not to chase answers but to contain them. She turned it into a lab of sorts. String maps across the walls, old photos thumbtacked in place, timelines etched in chalk on the floor. It became a sacred space, a sanctuary of memory, her reconstruction. Then, one evening, as she sat reading Leah's journal for the 50th time, she found a page she'd missed, folded, hidden in the spine. Not all loops are meant to break. Some must evolve. If you're reading this, then you still have a choice. It wasn't dated. The handwriting was older, more deliberate. Maya didn't understand. That night she dreamed again. Only this time she was standing in the shimmer. But she wasn't alone. There were others. Dozens of them. Some familiar, some foreign. All walking in different directions, through glowing arches of time. Maya turned in the dream and saw Leah, only now older than she'd ever been. "I left you the note," Leah said softly. "You think this is about saving me. But it's always been about saving yourself." "I don't understand," Maya said. "You will." She woke to rain tapping the window and an idea burning in her mind. What if the shimmer hadn't been a singular event? What if it was a nexus, a bridge not just through time but between all the lives that might have been? She needed help. She found a forum buried in the deep web called The Fringe Path. Its members posted about strange phenomena, time slips, déjà vu, quantum bleed. One thread in particular caught her eye. Shimmering doorways and sibling anchors. The posts were scattered, cryptic. But the recurring theme was clear. People who had experienced temporal anomalies often shared deep emotional bonds with someone they'd lost. The bond acted as a tether through time. One user, Praxius, wrote, "You don't find the shimmer. Finds you. And once it does, it doesn't want to let go." Maya messaged them. They responded instantly. "I've been waiting for you." They called her 3 days later. The voice on the other end was distorted. "Will, young. There's a convergence point coming," he said. "Same time your sister disappeared last year. 4:44 p.m. On the bridge. That bridge is gone. The storm destroyed it. Not for you. Time remembers. You just have to show up." Maya didn't sleep that night. She drove to the ruins of the bridge the next morning. Crows watched her from the trees. The air was thick with moisture, and the ground still bore the scars of the mudslide. She waited. At 4:43, the wind shifted. At 4:44, the shimmer bloomed. She stepped in. This time, she didn't arrive in the past. She arrived outside of time. The world unfolded in shards, each piece a memory, a possibility. Leah walking away. Leah surviving. Leah never being born. Maya saw herself in hundreds of variations, each playing out a different choice. Then everything stilled. She stood in a version of her childhood home. But it was empty. Icy. Cold. And there, sitting at the kitchen table, was Leah. "Is this real?" Maya asked. "That depends," Leah replied. "Are you ready to accept it?" "I don't know what that means." "It means letting me go. Truly. Not just in words. not just in memory, but in the space between who you were and who you're becoming. Maya sat down across from her. Her hands trembled. "I'm scared," she whispered. "I know. But you're not broken, Maya. You're evolving." The shimmer began to collapse around them. "You have to go back," Leah said. "But this time not to fix. To live." Maya stood, took one last look at her sister, and stepped out. She woke up on the floor of the cottage, gasping. The string maps had fallen. Photos lay scattered. The journal was gone. But something in her had changed. She walked outside. The sky was beginning to clear. Conclusion. The town still felt unfamiliar, but now it felt like a challenge rather than a threat. Maya no longer wandered like a ghost. She moved with purpose. She greeted the barista by name. She stopped and listened to the stories of strangers. The shimmer hadn't been a curse. It had been a mirror. And now, having looked deeply into it, Maya chose to step forward, not as someone trying to undo the past, but as someone finally ready to build something from it. And somewhere in the shifting echoes of time, a sister's voice said, "Good." In the weeks following her final passage through the shimmer, Maya began to feel something she hadn't dared to acknowledge in years. Stillness. Not the numbing quiet of grief, but a balanced pause between heartbeats, a breath where once there was only gasping. The shimmer hadn't just cracked the structure of time, it had carved new space within her. The world, though the same, began to reveal new details. She noticed the textures of leaves again. She heard the grain in people's voices. She started to listen, really listen, without projecting Leah's ghost onto every conversation. The past still whispered, but now it whispered in harmony, not dissonance. Maya had started working at the local archive. Cataloging lost records felt symbolic, an act of service to time itself. Each document, each dated photo, carried its own subtle shimmer. In these artifacts she found not just history, but quiet proof that every second mattered, that even forgotten things had value. One morning, while restoring a box of century-old newspapers, she found a clipping that stopped her cold. A black and white photo of the bridge from her dream. Below it the caption, "Temporal Surge Theory Revisited. Unexplained energy detected in 1955. Her fingers trembled. She turned the page. More photos. Blurred lights. Testimonies from farmers who'd seen doors of light in the woods. And at the bottom, scrawled in blue ink, a handwritten note. "The shimmer lives in cycles." It wasn't a dream. It never had been. That evening, Maya returned to the cottage. The place had become a shelter for others now. A network of those who had seen what she had or something like it. They called themselves alignment seekers. Not all had entered the shimmer, but all had felt its echo. Jules was one of them. A quantum physicist turned wanderer, drawn to temporal anomalies like a moth to flame. Then there was Hannah, who spoke only in fragments, her voice catching on memories that didn't belong to this world. They sat around the fireplace, exchanging stories. Jules leaned forward, firelight dancing in his glasses. "You saw a convergence. That's rare." "It wasn't about changing time," Maya said. "It was about understanding it, accepting its shape." "And what shape is that?" Hannah asked softly. Maya smiled. "A spiral." She no longer felt the need to chase answers. The shimmer didn't grant clarity, not in the way she had once hoped. But it had shown her the layers, how moments stack, how emotions repeat until understood. Maya's journey hadn't been through time. It had been through herself. But not all the threads were untangled. That night, she dreamed of Leah again. But now they were both older. Sitting at the same kitchen table. Only this time Maya spoke first. "I'm ready." Leah reached out, but the touch wasn't meant to pull Maya back. It was a gesture of acknowledgement, of farewell. And when Maya awoke, her eyes were dry, her heart full. Spring came early. The town thawed. People began planting again. Flowers, vegetables, dreams. Maya volunteered to help restore the public gardens. With dirt under her nails and the sun on her skin, she felt the closest she'd come to home. One afternoon, while pruning a dogwood tree, a girl approached her. 11, maybe 12. The same age Leah had been when Maya first started time journaling. "You're the one who talked to time," the girl said, tilting her head. Maya smiled. "Maybe. Or maybe time talked to me." "Did it say anything good?" "It said start now." The girl nodded like she understood and ran off. Maya stood still, letting the wind pass through her. The shimmer hadn't returned, but that didn't mean it was gone. Its presence was quieter now, embedded in the very fabric of things. And maybe that was the point. Not to chase it, not to fear it, but to carry it forward. She returned home and opened the journal she'd started keeping again. This one wasn't about time anomalies or alternate paths. It was about mornings, coffee, rain, laughter. Things that mattered here. She wrote for an hour. When she finished, she stepped out onto the porch, just as the sun slipped behind the hills. The sky shimmered, no time rift, no dimensional breach. Just light on dust. Beautiful and enough.